I will turn my volume up. I will turn y'all's volume right about there. And there we go. Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads, and welcome back to our Rise of the Runelords Redux game. We are currently on episode 35, I think. I'll switch this out. I will make sure as we do the introductions. But I believe we're...
Double check.
Yeah,
Classic.
Yeah. So, we are currently within Jorgenfist. Everybody is, for those wanting to try and catch up, everybody is still alive at the moment as far as we know. We're actually going to do Wilton's part first and see what happened to him, because last time Ross was not here, so we'll have to do that first so that things can progress along the other pathways. But before we get into that, we'll go ahead and do our disclaimer that this is an adult podcast that sometimes features adults that sometimes use adult language. You have been warned.
Dude, heckin' poop.
There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been very offensive and horrible in my bad.
Yeah, no, that long pause. Shoot, darn heck.
Heckin' poop.
Curse.
But is it there's a character named Hekapu in not just mythology but also in Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Star versus the Forces of Evil?
Yeah. So there you go. It's okay. It's all right. All right. Enough talking about that. That is our disclaimer. We've already recapped basically where we are because we haven't gone very far. It's been room by room, basically. Now we are going to continue. And when last we left our heroes...
You could label the episode as that. Rise of the Runelords Redux, episode whatever. Jorgenfist, room C4. You just go bit by bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if someone was doing it as an instructional video, that might work. But right now,
you have to flex in room C4.
Yeah.
Room C4.
Explosions everywhere.
So, when last we left our heroes, everyone had gone on ahead, and they were separated from Wilton. I'll actually need to put him back on the board. Right there. And he was left back in room C3, and then a hand had come out and flicked its wrist, and walls of stone had come up where we see on the board, and locked people mostly into the room C4, which had a menagerie of different zombies of different types and stuff like that. And those zombies came alive. They were posed before and did not appear to be animated in any particular way until the trap was sprung. They were handled pretty soundly, we'll say, since the group was pretty much unfazed. They had only been separated from two of their other players, from Wilton and from Boldrago, but even before Boldrago got there, they were starting to take things down. It just got faster when Boldrago got there, because he used lightning. So, it sped it up quite a bit. All that was done and completed, and the slaying was the things were slain. However, during that time, Wilton was still missing on the other side of this stone. Well, we're going to cover what happened to him now. Because they were separated, and by the time they came back, Wilton wasn't there. So, Wilton, you're kind of composing yourself, getting ready. Everybody had started to go into the room C3, and you were a C4. The next room with all the zombies and stuff like that in it and all the undead. And you were about to kind of sprint through this nasty, horrible smoke when you heard a rumbling of and the smoke floats high enough up that looked around and you looked kind of under the smoke, and you can tell that over here a wall of stone has come up. So, what would Wilton have done in that moment?
This would have separated me from the rest of the group.
Yes.
Probably take a moment and try and see what's about to happen. I guess just turn around like, somebody's coming.
Okay, that is fair. So you kind of watch. You get those prickles on the back of your neck. And as you're turning around, you see a big red smile come out. And then right here comes out this guy. And we're going straight into combat because he's not giving you time to grasp what's happening. He's coming right on in and striking. So.
Oh, crap. Okay.
He's not going to...
roll initiative.
Yeah. Well, you've got an initiative in the board, so we haven't got rid of our old initiatives.
You want to go ahead and use that one then?
Yeah. And it's appropriate that you are
All
first,
right.
because you are not necessarily surprised by what he's doing. We're not necessarily going to consider him flat-footed because he is initiating combat, but he's not going to get his special.
He was prepared.
Yeah.
He was prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Both sides were prepared.
Indeed.
It's fair to me that, neither of us have a surprise round. Okay. Well, how close is he to me? My apologies once again.
He's right on you.
Getting computers and everything.
He stepped right into... you were about 5 foot from the wall, kind of watching and looking around. He steps right out of that wall. And you're in a square adjacent to him.
Well, good thing that doesn't actually end up doing much to me since I have point-blank shot mastery. Yeah, that one. You know which one, War. Swift action. Gonna spend a bunch of arcane pool points to increase my weapon up to a +4 from its normal +1. And I just... yeah, I'm just going to attack this guy. I'm not going to use any spells just yet. Conservative. My apologies, I gotta pull up all of my stuff. There we go. And I am going to use Rapid Shot because he's, right in front of me. So I do get that +1 from point blank. So that's 3 attacks at a +15. So 1. That's a 30 to hit.
Okay. That will hit.
Okay. That's a 22 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay. And that's a 28 to hit.
That does hit. So 2 hits.
Okay, so 2 hits. And please do forgive me. I cast Gravity Bow when we had arrived early into the dungeon. Are we still within enough time that it still be active?
How long does it last?
Gravity Bow lasts many per caster level, so within 11 minutes.
11 minutes? We'll say that it's on. We did this for the haste, too, so we'll say that it's on for 2 rounds, and then it'll be done.
Haste is still on as well?
Yes.
Oh, then I need another attack. My apologies.
Okay, so that's 2.
That one misses, though. I rolled a 4. That's not going to hit.
Okay.
So 2 attacks hit, 3d6 each. Wow. 2 ones and a 6. That's, that was really bad. That's 17 points of damage. Another 17 points of damage. Okay, so 34 points of damage in total. And that is magical, in case there's any form of DR or anything like that.
Okay. Let me make sure. All right, then. And that is... Is that your turn? Do you want to That was a full attack, correct?
Yes, and I use the swift action to use the Magus Arcana to increase my bow up to a +4 from a +1.
Okay. All right, then. Your attacks do seem to make something of a dent. I mean, they stick in, and it's definitely the force of the gravity bow spell that's really giving you that oomph that you're looking for, along with the haste, being able to attack again. However, this individual does not seem to be swayed by your assaults upon his rotund, rusty body. Not really rusty, actually. His rotund body. And he is going to, as he was coming through the stone, you could see within his big, huge maw a bubbling and a boiling. And you see it go all on you. Make me a reflex save.
Ew. Ew. Gross. 26. That was one of them.
That does pass, so you're going to take half of 14d6.
Oh. Ow.
Let me make sure I did that typing right. There we go. You take half of 56. So.
Yeah, 23. Okie dokie then.
Yep.
This is not good.
And.
Okay.
That is the first turn. All right. Roll me a d4, please.
My turn?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course. Just one moment.
I love how Adam lets the players roll their own misfortunes.
Yeah.
Wait, this guy has misfortune. Jeez,
That way he can't be blamed for what happened.
I remember when I rolled a 6 when a shadow touched me. It was real
I got
bad.
2. I have a 2.
A 2? Okay.
No, it's spread score!
Duly noted. It is important for me to remember. You are fine.
Okay. Well, that sucked. Well.
You do hear a commotion going on in the other room, but it's one of those things where it's just a bunch of noise and not something that... I mean, you know there's stone between you, but you know that they're also battling something out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what to do. I'm sorry. This is just a really bad scenario to be in. I'm so sorry for taking so long.
No worries.
Well, then, I guess a 5-foot step back, sliding back, and then I'm going to use, I haven't actually used Scorching Ray yet, once, with Wilton, despite the fact I'm an arcane archer. So I'll use Scorching Ray on my arrows. That gives me 3 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 rays.
So 3 arrows.
Damage. Yeah. So 3 rays of scorching arrows on my arrow. 3 rays of scorching arrows. I'm just gonna roll the darn dice. So 3 arrows into this guy's chest.
Okay.
And they're all at plus 15. Actually, there's a bonus one at plus 7. 27 to hit.
That would hit.
Okay. 19. Stupid 4.
Okay, no.
And a 28. So 2 hit, 1 miss.
Yes. Do you have... What about your haste attack?
That gave me 3 attacks at my top because I was using point blank shot, and I fled that. I do have 1 more attack, so I will go ahead and just roll it. It's only at a plus 10. 24.
Does not hit. So just the 2.
24 hit. Okay, so only 2 hit. Okay, So, first things first, for any purposes of resistance, I'll go ahead and do the fire first, in case he has some resistance. Okay, so the first attack is a total of 12 points of fire damage. And
Okay.
well, that one's pretty good. 14 points of fire damage from the actual, fiery bits of the scorching ray.
Okay.
And then each individual bow. So many dice. So much fun. 24 from the first shot.
Okay.
17 from the second shot. And that's all of my damage, and I did take a 5-foot step back from him.
And that 24 and that 17 are the physical damage, correct?
Yes, they are. That's why they're much higher, even though I'm rolling 3d6 because I get all those mods.
Gotcha. All right. He doesn't seem very pleased with you. So, or it doesn't seem very pleased with you. So, what it's going to do is, it's going to grab you.
Uh-oh.
You're still within.
So he needs to be my CMD.
Yes, you're still within his reach. So he's going to try and grab you.
Okay.
He gets a 17 on the dice. He adds 19. So unless it's really good.
Yeah. No, he gets me.
Okay.
He's only 25.
So he grabs you, pulls you close. You basically come to just square adjacent to him again with that grab. And you can feel the heat. He's pulled you close, and though the mouth on his metallic gut is closed, the heat and the flames kind of lick out as it pants and goes. And that's technically all it can do its turn. So, what would you like to try and do?
So with me being grappled, I can't really use somatic components, can I? Or material components, I would imagine.
Right.
Crud monkeys.
Well, you can, but there's you have use of your hands and things. There's just a really steep concentration check, but I forget what it is off the top of my head. Like 15 or 20 plus spell level, I want to say.
It is.
Ew.
No,
nasty.
no, it's like 5 or 10 plus CMD.
Yeah.
A lot,
it's not,
though.
Yeah, it's a lot. Especially considering his CMD.
How many feet away would it be for me to get out of here?
To get out of the room?
To get out of the to get out of the room, like someplace safe.
Well, that's relative. But to get in the room you came from before, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70 to get to the other room that you came from, C2. To try and get into the room with everybody else, that's 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70 to go straight to your side. But you haven't seen that, so you don't know for sure. You might think it's more or less than that. You don't know where the wall ends that way.
Well, there's only one option I have left, and I'm just going to flat out ask it. Would 840 feet be far enough for me to get out of the fort?
I'm trying to calculate up how far you go down, and then caverns, and then you don't know, because you've only seen this place from above, and you don't know how deep you've gone, and you didn't go with Boldrago, so you're not sure. It would be a risk. for sure. A steep, steep risk.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You'll be shunted to a space that's occupied.
I'm going to take that risk.
Holding you.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna do
I'm
what?
going to take that risk, and I'm just going to look the thing in the eyes, and I look the thing in the eyes and just say, I guess this is my sign, huh? And then I say the command word to cast Dimension Door. And I'm going to try and just basically use Dimension Door to get as close to being outside of the fort as I can. And then I'll just take whatever damage I get being tossed out of the ground.
Okay.
I just imagine him being, like, yeeted straight up into the skybox so you got hit by a giant in Skyrim.
Yeah. Pretty much. So this does not require a concentration check, correct?
This is why I had Dimension... This is why Wilton had Dimension Door.
There's a lot. It would provoke from Fire Belly, and then it's a huge concentration check.
Dimension Door is a verbal-only spell.
Right. It's not about components and things. It's about trying to cast it while you're grappled.
Okay. Well, this is the best thing I got going for me.
Okay. You got to beat his concentration plus... and
it's a...
14 plus his CMB, something like...
My apologies.
Dimension Door, 4th level spell.
Isn't it? Maybe it's 3rd. Y'all know I cast Great Swords.
It's a 4th level spell.
Oh, I got it right.
For Magus at the very least.
Oh, yeah. So probably like at, 20
something in the 30s.
Lowest?
Mm-hmm.
Probably more like in the 30s.
So I think 33.
Yeah.
Ooh, that might
I
do
believe
it.
he said there was
Use
a
your
plus
hero
19
point.
for the CMB.
Okay, and for caster level, you add what again? Just to make sure I get this right, it's your caster level plus your intelligence modifier for concentration?
Yeah.
And then you have a +4 with combat casting. Mr. Magus.
Yeah. Well, I guess this is Wilton's final goodbye, guys, because I rolled a natural 20 for that.
Okay.
With my base...
Damn.
With my base... Yeah! With my base concentration, that would make it a 35.
Yeet.
Plus 4 more from combat casting makes it a 39.
Okay. You do
So
succeed.
you go all the way up and then spawn in a camp full of angry giants.
Or way over their head.
So, let me see. You said how many feet is it?
I think you did
840 feet.
Okay. You feel that him try to hold you down as he sees you mutter something and kind of gets the idea of what you're trying to do, but you feel him also go as you move up. And you feel yourself pull through solidness, because it feels weird when you do Dimension Door, different than teleportation, because you're moving through the space. So it's like, and you feel yourself dragged through a lot of mass. However, you come out and you have miscalculated how deep down you were. You teleported, your Dimension Doored your maximum up. So you are about 300 feet off the ground, looking down on Jorgenfist, and you hear a "Enemy! Enemy!" from the gates. And you're currently in the middle of the sky at the moment. About, like I said, about 300 feet above Jorgenfist.
Well, her spell is fly. Because, no! So I'm just gonna, if I can, I don't presume I'm on a strict initiative right now, I'm just gonna cast fly.
Yeah, not now. You're currently too far away from any of the flying things to get to you, but you do remember, there are 3 wyvern patrolling. You also, in this heated moment, see 2 huge birds starting to beeline towards you, and there's harpies on the ground, on the gate, starting to fly up towards you. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Adam, but I actually am prepared for this.
Okay.
Like I said, cast Fly,
Okay.
and I am immediately going... So, I'm trying to remember, how many rounds does Fly last for again? Or does it last for minutes? Well,
Minutes.
minutes, so that's 11 minutes to Fly.
Okay.
And then after that goes through, I cast Invisibility.
Okay. So you start to fly. You start flying, and they start getting closer, and then all of a sudden you just kind of aren't there anymore, and you're beelining it, and you're going back. Forget this. Where's the cave? I mean, because you can't teleport back in. So, Wilton.
Question: How many minutes would it take of invisibility and flying for me to get back to the cave?
It took the better part of a day. It took hours to get back from and to.
Let me rephrase that question then. Just let me do some quick math. How far would 44 minutes of flying and invisibility, or how far would 44 minutes of flying and invisibility get me away from the camp?
It would get you quite a ways away from the camp.
Alright.
So.
Would I need to make any rules for stealth or anything to lose them?
Probably not, because if you descend, they're going to still be looking for you in the sky. And if you remain invisible, it's not going to be a big issue. So.
And Wilton does have a plus. A plus. Let me double check here.
Okay.
All of this is awful on mobile. I'm so sorry. A plus 14 on stealth.
So there you go. He's got a plus 14. He's got invisibility going for him. So there you go. I think we're going to... This has been about 30 minutes to see how far Wilton would make it. And you see what I run into, people? I can't even kill them when they're on board to be killed. Okay? There's something wrong. I don't know what it is. I can't kill any PCs.
Wilton doesn't go back to the camp.
Oh? Well, where does Wilton go?
Once he just gets there, he just kind of... Yeah, he just lands a bit to the south, actually, and just kind of pauses before dropping his invisibility. Takes a deep breath. Mutters something to Desna. Hopefully she'll take care of. And then he goes off to do something that he's been needing to do for a while now.
Alright.
Basically, he knows Skoros is in good hands, and he needs to take care of something himself. And if there was ever a good time for him to have an excuse to go do it, now would be a good time for him to go do it. And I think you know the thing that he's going to go do, Adam.
So,
from what I told you about his backstory.
Alright. So, as you look on and you've come back to the cave, you see Poogie kind of running around outside. He sits down, waddles around occasionally, and just kind of snorts around a bit, goes back in the cave, and there's a turn and a walk away, and cinematic blowing of the wind, dust kicking up, as a lone archer
There
walks.
is a note left. There is a note left addressed to Skoros.
Okay. So you give Poogie a note underneath his collar that I'm sure Egor has fashioned for him.
Yeah.
So
Wilton puts that note there. Scratches Poogie behind the head, says, "Look after them for me, will you? Because you're smarter than the lot of them at this point." And he heads on.
Alright. So, now we know what happened to Wilton. However, we don't know what happened to everybody else, which is why we need to cut this one here and move on to what's going on in there. So.
Thank you. Sorry about the awkwardness, everyone.
Alright. So.
Not a problem.
It's basically your character.
It was a mild problem, but it was a
So, we hope you had a great time watching. We hope that this is a satisfying end for everybody to Wilton's current adventure with the group. And
it's giving us a way to work around his schedule.
Indeed. And we hope you had a great time. God bless. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 This content was made possible by travelers and viewers like you. Thank you.